Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've probably already heard about this. I'm about a day late to it. If you saw it on my community tab the other day, I did post it. Make sure you're following me on Twitter and also subscribe to the channel if you're not already to check out my community tab. I post a lot of fun polls, and one of the things I posted about was obviously this leak that a Batman Arkham RTX remaster is being made by Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. Now, Batman Arkham Knight RTX. RTX means ray tracing, and this is all uncovered, by the way, from the NVIDIA server catalog. It's a very complicated system for the guy of how he actually found this catalog. I will put it down in the description below. He goes step by step into how he uncovered this in the back end of NVIDIA, and it'll actually say here, Batman Arkham Knight RTX Remaster done by Lightspeed Studios. And it all makes sense that this is in the NVIDIA catalog because Lightspeed Studios is actually owned by NVIDIA. And NVIDIA created the ray tracing technology. It's one of their signatures and something that they promote heavily. So it would make sense that Lightspeed Studios, which is an LA-based studio owned by NVIDIA, this was unveiled again. This whole leak was unveiled through the NVIDIA games catalog that was revealed by code hacking, essentially, is the best way to describe it. And what's so interesting about this is that it doesn't say Batman Arkham Remaster. It says Batman Arkham Knight RTX Remaster. So I think ray tracing would have the biggest benefit on Batman Arkham Knight because it already is a beautiful game. And one thing that a lot of people have pointed out is that the game doesn't need a remaster because it already looks great. To that, I would disagree. I'm excited for a Batman Arkham Knight remaster. I will definitely play it on PS5. And if you include ray tracing, have it in, I don't know the original frame rate of the game. I believe it was 60 frames per second, unless you were on PC, and it was probably like 6 frames per second. But in terms of console, the game was smooth. It had great graphics. But if you want to put it in 4K, or you want to put ray tracing on it, or you want to amp up the frame rate or do whatever, I'm down. I'll buy it. So I guess I'm not on the bandwagon of these other people that I've seen and that you'll inevitably see in the comments, who I respect, by the way. I respect your opinion. It's valid. I'm not here to dissuade you from your opinion even. I'm just here to share my opinion. And mine is that I would happily buy a Batman Arkham Knight ray tracing remaster on next-gen consoles. And not only would I buy it, I'd pay $60 for it. And that's just because I'm that much of a fan. But if we're talking about best practices and what the industry should or should not do, no, this game should not be $60. It should be $20. And, by the way, if they're doing this, I would prefer them just remaster all 4 Batman Arkham games on next-gen. Because let's discuss the elephant in the room for a minute that we all need to go over, that many of you, again, are going to point out in the comments and have already pointed out on Twitter. This is that Batman Arkham Knight came out in 2015. Batman Arkham Origins came out in 2013. Why is Batman Arkham Origins not getting a remaster? Why has Asylum and City been remastered and now Knight been remastered, and they're just going to pass over Origins? Especially because Arkham Knight is more recent. You would think that you would start the remastering first the oldest game. That's the way you typically do it. That's just industry standard. And I understand that for many, Arkham Origins is the ugly stepchild of the Batman Arkham series, and frankly, I don't think that analysis or comparison is wrong per se. Not because Arkham Origins is a bad game. Many of you think that it's your favorite or it's the best, and that's a totally valid opinion. I respect that opinion. I don't agree, but you're welcome to have that opinion. And I, again, am not here to dissuade you from it or try to tell you that you're wrong. Who am I to say? I'm just a guy with an opinion, right? So I respect your opinion if you think Arkham Origins is the best. But for me, it's just weird, even though I think it's actually, again, not the best Batman Arkham game. Why is City been remastered? Asylum is being remastered. Knight is being remastered, and Origins isn't. We just passed it over. The game, one of the games in the middle. That doesn't make sense to me. I would prefer them just remaster. And by the way, let's also discuss the other elephant in the room, and this is the final of 2 elephants in the room. And that is that we got a remaster, quote unquote, of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City that is perhaps the worst remaster ever made. I mean, literally, it might be the worst remaster ever made. If I look at other games, some of them are adding new features, adding new gameplay components. They're adding ray tracing. They're adding 4K. They're adding 60 frames a second or not, whatever they're doing, right? Batman Return to Arkham, literally, you can look at side-by-side comparisons online, had a lower frame rate than the original game on PS3. That is insane. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. That game should not have been released. That game needed more time to be polished because it is unacceptable to have a game where the graphics look worse, where Batman looks vaguely constipated for no reason, and throughout the entirety of Batman Arkham Asylum, he looks ridiculous. And the graphics were made all cartoony for no reason when the original didn't have that. If you're going to remaster, just take the exact same graphics and asset package, elevate it, polish it, make it better, make it more refined, make it more beautiful, make the colors pop more, do all of this, and then dip out. But instead what they did is they transported it in this whole new engine, right, into Unreal Engine 4, and it's going to be so much better. The frame rate was worse. The graphics were worse. I can't think of a single remaster. Like, hop on the Master Chief Collection. Do you think the graphics are going to be worse than they were in 2007 when, some of the earlier Halo games were dropping? Or 2006, whatever. I don't know. Of course not. The graphics are going to be substantially better, and they were substantially better. I just don't understand how they missed the ball on that. But again, and to that point, just to put a cherry on top of the incompetence, they're now remastering the game that doesn't even need a remaster. Out of all 4 of the games, Arkham Knight needs a remaster the least. It already is incredible. It looks better than 90% of games that come out in 2021, and that game came out in 2015. It was supposed to come out in 2014. And it still looks better than 90% of games that you play today. That says something about that game, and it says that, frankly, it doesn't really need a remaster, if I'm being honest. But, again, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play it. I'm not saying I'm not interested. But I'm just saying that that's my thoughts on it. But Lightspeed Entertainment, you have my money. I will buy this, but I think we could have gone about it in a slightly different way. More broadly, though, you're going to see other games on this list, the Batman City Builder and the Batman Arkham Insurgency listing and Batman Arkham Underworld. I'll talk about those in different videos. Batman Arkham Underworld we already know about, but Arkham Insurgency and Batman City Builder are very interesting, and I will do separate videos on those later. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and ring the notification bell. Make sure that you also follow me on Twitter down in the description below. My name is Slickmoth. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for listening.